Hey guys, it's Sports Gamer back with another video, and today we have my mock draft 3.0, and this time we're going to be doing it with trades. So we got the first overall pick, Jacksonville Jaguars, no doubt. Trevor Lawrence is just a great quarterback. He reminds me of a Deshaun Watson or Lamar Jackson in a way. He can run and he can throw. He was 231 at 334 with 3,153 yards and 24 touchdowns and only 5 interceptions. And on the ground, he had 203 yards and 8 touchdowns, as they usually use him in the red zone. I think the Jaguars are going to love him down in Florida. And fun fact, he actually broke Deshaun Watson's high school records with 13,902 and 161 touchdowns in his high school career. Now we have the New York Jets coming up, and I think the Jets are going to trade down with the San Francisco 49ers. So I think they'll trade the second overall pick. I think they'll get the Niners pick, the 12th pick. I think they'll get first round for next year, first round for this year, and a third round for next year. Oh, it actually declined. Okay, we have to do it the other way. Okay. We have to do it the other way because then... Shoot, okay. Well, we are having technical difficulties. How would they not want the first overall pick? What if we just did it straight up? Okay, straight up, it was accepted. Okay, so, but that's not what I think the trade would actually happen. But anyways, I think they would take Zach Wilson, a quarterback out of BYU. I think the Niners would get a steal if they did this trade and got Zach Wilson. He was 247 for 336 and 3,692 yards, 33 touchdowns, and only 3 interceptions. And he's led his team to 11-1, and a roofclaim.com Boca Raton Bowl win. That bowl game's actually unheard of. But yeah. But now we got Dolphins at number 3 via the Texans. And Devontae Smith out of Alabama. Devontae Smith had 117 receptions for 1,856 yards, 23 touchdowns, and I truly believe he is the best overall player in the draft. He did win the Heisman Trophy. Before this season. Ja'Marr Chase. For a while, Ja'Marr Chase was my number one receiver. But after he wins the Heisman, I think that they'll take Devontae Smith. So now we got the Atlanta Falcons. And I think they'll take Justin Fields, a quarterback out of Ohio State. I think they'll move on from Matt Ryan this offseason. Another great pick. Justin Fields is an amazing player. He was 158 of 225, 2,100 yards, 22 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions, as he led his team to the national championship, which they unfortunately lost to Alabama in the previous pick, Devontae Smith. Yeah, it was unfortunate for Ohio State, but not for me, because I wanted Alabama to win that game. And now we got number 5 on... Number 5 is the Bengals. Penei Sewell for the tackle, Oregon. He did opt out this season, but he is a great offensive lineman, best one in the draft, and they need to protect Joe Burrow, because if Joe Burrow gets injured again, they're not going to be successful if Joe Burrow gets injured again. Like Joe Burrow or Ryan Finley, the backup. He did beat the Steelers. He beat the Texans as they were kind of getting on a hot streak towards the end of the season. but they did lose to the Ravens in Week 17. I don't think they're going to... Ryan Finley is the answer to the franchise, so I think they would obviously, if they didn't start Joe Burrow, that would be kind of stupid. But now we got number 6, the Philadelphia Eagles. And I think they take Ja'Marr Chase, a wide receiver out of LSU. Ja'Marr Chase was my number 1 receiver until Devontae Smith won the Heisman Trophy. He did opt out of the season due to COVID-19, so I would not be surprised if he dropped down. But during the 2019 season, he had 1,780 yards and 20 touchdowns. I don't know if him opting out will be a big thing as he moves on to the NFL. I don't know if he'll be rusty since he hasn't played in a year, but I'm sure he's practicing in his home. Well, right now we have the Lions on the clock, and they are going to take Jalen Waddle, wide receiver out of Alabama. Now, Jalen Waddle did get injured this season, but still had 28 receptions for 591 yards and 4 touchdowns. I think he would be a great player to help out whoever might be the Lions quarterback next season. Because, the Lions, who knows what they're going to do at the quarterback situation. They could take, they could draft somebody here. Like, Trey Lance is available here. I don't know if they would be willing to. But, I don't know if they would, but number 8, we have the Carolina Panthers. I have them taking Micah Parsons, linebacker out of Penn State. Micah Parsons is the best defensive player in the draft, I think, in my opinion. He did opt out this season, but last year he had 109 total tackles, and 52 of those were solo. He also had 5 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, and 1 fumble recovery. And I really believe that he is the best defensive player in this draft. But I don't know, since he opted out, I would expect him to fall down, but in this mock draft, I think he'll go number 8. But he did opt out, so this is a hard draft to mock because all the opt-outs and all that stuff. So I don't know, it'd be kind of hard because of all the players that opted out. But number 9, we have the Denver Broncos. I think they'll take Patrick Surtain II, cornerback out of Alabama. He is the best corner in the draft, in my opinion. He had 38 tackles, 16 assisted, and 22 solo. He had 1 fumble recovery and 1 interception. I believe he did get injured during the season, but he is a great corner. I mean, maybe because it's just on Alabama. Everybody seems good in Alabama, but... So now at number 10, we have the Dallas Cowboys. I have them taking Kwity Paye, edge out of Michigan. He might just be the best edge rusher in the draft. He did get hurt this season, but still had 16 tackles and 2 sacks. Last season, he did have 50 tackles and 6.5 sacks. I think he's the best edge rusher in this draft. Now, at number 11, we have the New York Giants. And I think they'll take Caleb Farley, a cornerback out of Virginia Tech. He is another opt-out, but last season he did have 20 tackles and 4 interceptions. So I think they might take the chance on him. Again, with all the opt-outs, this is a hard draft to mock. But we're just going to have to see what happens. At number 12, we have the New York Jets during the trade with the San Francisco 49ers. And with the Niners, they got the 2nd overall pick. And Trey Lance is available. I think they might build around Darnold, but if Trey Lance is available, I think they would have to take Trey Lance. He's a good quarterback. He did get injured. He did get injured this season. He did still have 149 yards and 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. But last year he did have 2,786 yards, 28 touchdowns, and no interceptions. I think Trey Lance would be a great quarterback for the future if they do take him. I mean, I don't think Sam Darnold is the answer. He is a free agent this year. We'll have to see if they re-sign him. But Trey Lance would just be a great quarterback, to get. Okay, but now and then number 13 we have this Los Angeles Chargers. I think they'll take Samuel Cosme. He's an offensive tackle out of Texas. Not much to explain. The Chargers just need to protect Justin Herbert. Again, this is a franchise quarterback. If they don't protect him, they're in trouble, because if they don't protect him and he potentially gets hurt, like Joe Burrow, they did not have protection around him and they got hurt. When the season was looking okay, they had a couple wins. But it was a rebuilding year, but maybe they could have had more wins if Joe Burrow did not get injured. And number 4, we have the Minnesota Vikings. I think they'll take Rashawn Slater. Nothing to really say here either. Vikings need to protect whoever their quarterback is, whether it's going to be Kirk Cousins, or if they're going to draft somebody, or if they're going to sign somebody, or if they're going to trade for somebody. Whoever their quarterback is, they need to protect him. And now at number 15, we have the New England Patriots. I think the Kyle Pitts tight end out of Florida. I think that would be an amazing pick for them, as Kyle Pitts is the best tight end in the draft, in my opinion. And Bill Belichick is famous for using tight ends. This season, he had 43 receptions for 770 yards and 12 touchdowns. I think that would be a steal if they get the best one in the draft. As you know, the Patriots, they need weapons for whoever their quarterback again is. I don't know. It's probably most likely not going to be Cam Newton. Whoever it is, they need to, actually, no, you probably don't know. They need, weapons. But, now we have, the Arizona Cardinals. I think they'll take Joseph Ossai. I don't know how to say his name. Joseph Ossai, I think. And out of Texas. The Cardinals need help on defense, and I think he would be a great fit this season. He had 54 tackles and 5 sacks. That's a pretty good player to pick in the middle picks of the first round. Now, number 17, we have the Las Vegas Raiders. I think they'll take Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, linebacker out of Notre Dame. The Raiders also need help on defense, specifically in the linebacker spot. He is the best one available this season. He had 61 tackles, 1.5 sacks, and 1 interception. And now at number 18, we have the Miami Dolphins. And I think they'll take, let me just find him here, Najee Harris, running back out of Alabama. Najee Harris is the best running back in the draft, in my opinion. And they need help. They need to help out Tua Tagovailoa, reunite him with Alabama players as they would reunite him with Devontae Smith and Najee Harris. If they do that, and then Dolphins again, 10-6, honestly not a bad season. They did miss the playoffs. If they're in the NFC, they would have made it. That just shows you how strong the AFC is. So, if you want to make the playoffs in the AFC, you got to be super good. The AFC is strong. They have a lot of good teams. I don't know if the Colts are going to be good next year. I don't know if Titans are going to be good this next year. But there's other teams that can possibly make a push next year, like Las Vegas Raiders, Miami Dolphins. If they want to make the playoffs, they need to stack up on offense to help out Tua Tagovailoa. And now we have the Washington football team. And I think they'll take Christian Darrisaw, offensive tackle out of Virginia Tech. As they need to protect whoever their quarterback is, whether it's Alex Smith, Taylor Heinicke, whether they draft somebody, sign somebody, or trade somebody. They need to protect whoever their quarterback is. And same thing with the Bears. So I think they'll take Elijah Vera Tucker, the best offensive tackle available. And now, number 21, we have the Indianapolis Colts coming up. And I think they'll take J.C. Horn, cornerback out of South Carolina. Tracy Horn is one of the best cornerbacks in the draft. He has 16 tackles and 2 interceptions this season. That's not a bad pick if the Colts need help on defense. We also need help on offense, though, because Phillip Rivers, I don't know if he has anything left in the gas tank. I don't know if their starter would be Jacoby Brissett, or I don't know what's going on with them. But we'll have to see. And so now we have the number 22 pick, Tennessee Titans. I think they'll take Gregory Rousseau, edge out of Miami. Gregory Rousseau was the best edge rusher, but after opting out, he did drop in my rankings. But last season, he did have 54 tackles and 15.5 sacks, that is good. I mean, Gregory Rousseau, he opted out of the season. If he didn't opt out, he had the same type of season he would be going to the Panthers instead of Micah Parsons. But again, he opted out. Probably hurts his draft stock. And at number 23, we have the New York Jets, and I think they'll take Rashad Bateman, wide receiver out of Minnesota. The Jets need weapons for whoever their quarterback is, and in this mock draft, it would be Trey Lance. And he did opt out after a teammate did test positive, but he still had 36 receptions for 472 yards and 2 touchdowns. Last season, he had 60 receptions for 1,219 yards and 11 touchdowns. And now we have the Pittsburgh Steelers. Disappointing end to the season. Just bad. That's what happens when you have a bunch of players making TikToks before the game, dancing on the logo and everything. And they're trash talking. I mean, that's what happens. When you call 11-5 team a bunch of gray faces, and then you get your butt kicked. So, but now we got the number 24 Steelers. And I think they'll take Jalen Mayfield. He's another opt-out, but is the best offensive lineman available, according to my rankings. And he did have a pretty good season last year. Okay, so now we have the Jacksonville Jaguars at number 25. I think they'll take Alex Leatherwood. Find him, offensive tackle, Alabama. They need offensive tackle, and they need to protect Trevor Lawrence, which would be the quarterback in this case. Because if he gets hurt, I don't know what would happen. But now number 26, we have the Cleveland Browns. I think they'll take Zaven Collins, linebacker out of Tulsa. He is he's not as good as Micah Parsons, or the best linebacker in the draft, as he didn't play that good as opponents as Micah Parsons did. He had 54 tackles, 4 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and 1 fumble recovery and 4 interceptions. Pretty good season. And now at number 27, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think they'll take Travis Etienne, running back out of Clemson. The Bucs, they need a running back. I don't think Leonard Fournette is the answer. And Ronald Jones is a free agent this year. We'll have to see if they re-sign him. But Travis Etienne, he had 914 yards and 14 touchdowns this season. So, a great season. And now at number 28, we have the Baltimore Ravens. And I have them taking Azeez Ojulari, edge out of Georgia. He's the best edge available. He had 31 tackles, 8.5 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, and 1 fumble recovery. And now number 29, we have the New Orleans Saints. I don't know, maybe if they'll take a quarterback here, because we don't know if Drew Brees, and Schefter does believe he is retiring after this playoff run, which I do think. Apparently, Adam Schefter does not know a person who thinks Drew Brees is not going to retire after this year. Apparently, but I think they'll take a linebacker, and Nick Bolton. he is a tackle machine. He's not a really good pass rusher, although he did get 2 sacks. And he's not a pass defender as he got no interceptions. But he did get 95 tackles. He is a tackle machine. And now at number 31, we have number 30, we have the Buffalo Bills. I think they take Eric Stokes, cornerback out of Georgia. The Bills need depth in the secondary, and Stokes is the best player for that. He had 20 tackles and 4 interceptions. And now we have the Green Bay Packers, best team in the NFC. I think they'll take Terrace Marshall Jr. Let me just find him. Wide receiver out of LSU. They need to get Rodgers help, as they did take a quarterback last year, but Marshall Jr., 48 receptions for 731 yards and 10 touchdowns. It's a great season. Now with the number 32 pick, we have the Kansas City Chiefs, who they think is going to win the Super Bowl, apparently, because they would have the number 32 pick. I think they'll take Kadarius Toney, wide receiver out of Florida, and that will do it for the mock draft. He had 984 yards last season and 10 touchdowns. Actually, this season, rather. But, yeah, that is our mock draft. So, Trevor Lawrence, Jets trading up to get the number 2 pick to take Zach Wilson. Devontae Smith, Justin Fields, Penei Sewell, Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, Micah Parsons, Patrick Surtain II, Kwity Paye, Caleb Farley, Trey Lance, Samuel Cosme, Rashawn Slater, Kyle Pitts, Joseph Osway, Jeremiah Owusu-Kamara, Najee Harris, Christian Darrisaw, Elijah Vera Tucker, Tracy Horn, Gregory Rousseau, Rashad Bateman, Jalen Mayfield, Alex Leatherwood, Stephen Collins, Travis Etienne, Aziz Ojari, Nick Bolton, Eric Stokes, Terrace Marshall Jr., and Kadarius Toney. So yeah, that is my full mock draft. That is my mock draft 3.0. And until next time.